I want to talk to you guys about something that really held me back for a long time. And it might be holding some of you guys back as well. It's wanting to control too many aspects of your life too soon and then ending up not actually controlling anything. I'm sure a few of you have been there where there's so many different parts of your life that you want to change. And you think to yourself, how do I change my finances? How do I change my fitness? How do I change my relationship with different people? How do I upgrade my house? How do I end up getting in a place where I've got a girlfriend? How do I end up in a place where I got more friends? The list goes on. The list can be as long as your arm in certain cases. Now, one thing that I had to learn, because I was always the type of person that I used to look at my whole life and I used to be like, you know what, this is what I want it to be like. And I used to romanticize the idea of what it's going to be like. And then what I'll do is I would spread myself so thin in terms of trying to change so many different areas. And where I'd be left is in a space where nothing would move. Nothing would have the impact that I wanted it to. I would be in a space where I didn't really feel like anything was going right for me. So one day I just stumbled, and it was after I had a conversation with one of my friends. And by the end of the conversation, I got to a place where I figured out that the focus needs to be on one thing, just like anything that you do well, right? If you focus on one thing, you're going to get really good results with that one thing. So I had to learn that you can't move everything at the same pace as you would move if you just focused on one thing. So I had to become good at just sticking to one area, perfecting that area. And there's a certain point that you get to when you're working on that specific thing, where you get to a place where you're like, you know what, this is actually good enough in terms of where we're at. This is actually where we want to be. And then it's enough of a baseline where you can move on to the next thing and then focus on the next thing. Now, the first thing that I believe that every single man should focus on, every single one, it all starts off with this, is your health and wellness. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you're a dog, health and wellness is important in order to get where you want to go because there is no point having £1 million in your bank account and you're too unhealthy to enjoy it. There is no point staying up late hours working and then you wake up in the morning and then you got to take 2 to 3 days off because you're ill, you've run yourself into the ground, you're not fit enough to handle the challenges that are up and coming. There is absolutely no point. There is no point in getting to 50 years old and you've got numerous health problems because you didn't look after yourself. You've worked hard, you've amassed everything you wanted to, but then your health is gone to you know what. So everyone has to start off with a baseline of focusing on their health and fitness. It's the absolute baseline. And the great thing about health and fitness is that to focus on your health and fitness, there's very little barrier in terms of being able to do that. We've got more resources than we've ever had before. We've got access to so many different things. You've got Chat GPT, you've got personal trainers available in every gym, you've got social media people that are really good at giving away free advice all the time. So there should be no excuse in terms of getting to our goals right now, guys. There should be no excuse. Now is a time where we can actually lock in and we can more than ever before become whoever we want to be. Now is a time where we can actually turn around and have everything at a drop of a button in terms of information that you need to be great. You can use people like myself, you can comment, you can ask for advice, you can use ChatGPT. It can give you a breakdown of what you need to do. There's so many resources available to you that there are absolutely no excuses anymore in terms of not getting towards your goals in terms of health and fitness. But the first thing every single person has to do is find out where they are right now in terms of their health and fitness. You have to go and book a medical. You have to understand what your statistics are in terms of what is your ideal body fat percentage. You've got to understand where you stand in terms of your health. You got to understand where you stand in terms of your fitness, and you got to understand where you stand in terms of what's going on the inside of your body as well as the outside as well. That is the bottom baseline that you need to understand, and you need to understand it quick, because the sooner you understand that, the sooner that you can start to set an action plan in terms of where you want to be next, and then you can start to build, and then you can start to say, okay, this is what I need to do next. But I promise you, nobody has ever turned around and said, I just started looking after my health and fitness, and I hate the fact that I made that decision. Not one person ever said that before. You need to lock in. You need to look at your life and say, hey, listen, maybe some things ain't going well. Maybe some things ain't moving in the right direction. But your baseline has to be your health and your fitness levels, for your appearance, for the way you feel, and for the way you show up for yourself on a consistent basis. That has to be the baseline of what you can actually control. Then from there, you can start to build in every single different area. I had to learn it the hard way, because the way I look and the way I feel now is completely different to the way I look and felt maybe even like about a year ago. I had to look at myself in the mirror and say, hey, listen, I'm not happy with who I see in the mirror right now. I'm not happy with where I am right now in terms of my health and fitness. I'm not looking after myself in the best way I possibly can. And then once I started making those changes, I saw a huge difference in my overall outlook in terms of who I am, in the way that I fit in clothes, in the way that I show up for other people. Now I got more energy than before. And I'm also able to now come and confidently share that advice with you guys, because I know it works and I know lots of you guys are there in that space. So the message today is control the controllables. Start off with something you can really control. If you feel like your life is falling apart, let's get back to basics. Start off with the things that you can actually control, and then we can build from there and get to a different space. So use this as your tipping point. Use this as your moment of inspiration. Use this as your catalyst to make a change and start to lock in on your health and fitness goals. And if you need any help, I'm more than happy to help. So drop a comment. I'll make sure I get back to you. But as usual, let's make sure we get the conversation started. What's your catalyst? Will you use this to be your catalyst? And when are you going to start your journey? See you in the next one.